Hey everybody, so I am taking this video with my phone because I am having big time issues with my webcam not working on my computer and I don't know how to fix it. I had to update the video driver on my computer, whatever that does, but basically every time I tried to watch a video online it would crash the computer, so I had to update the driver, but since I've updated the driver now my webcam doesn't work. So I don't know how to fix that or what's happening. I assume that this webcam is just too old and isn't compatible with the new updates. So I'm probably going to have to get a new webcam to keep this channel going, which is going to be, it's really annoying and it's a pain. But anyway, I still wanted to put at least a couple videos out because we're right at the trade deadline. We have a lot going on. So I'm using my phone for now. And the only difference is I can't really show the whiteboard on my phone because it's backwards. It doesn't flip it does flip the way that you see things, unlike which my webcam didn't do. So I'm just going to read off the whiteboard, and you'll have to go without the visual at least until I can get a new webcam. But this is next episode of NHL Remember Him, and as you probably could tell when I showed the board, if you could read backwards or at least make out who it was, today's NHL Remember Him is Brad Stuart. Stuart was a longtime NHL defenseman. He played over 1,000 games in the league and over 100 playoff games on top of that. Very, very good, solid defenseman. Never a superstar guy. Never even really, I would say, a top pair defenseman, but always a very solid middle pair defenseman for a long time in the NHL. So Brad Stuart played 1,056 games in the NHL. He scored 80 goals and 255 assists for 335 career points. On top of that, he played 142 career playoff games, scoring 10 goals and 30 assists for 40 points. He was drafted third overall in the first round in 1998 by the San Jose Sharks. His NHL career began in 1999 with San Jose, which he played with until 2005. Then, if you remember, Brad Stuart was one of the pieces that went back to Boston in exchange for Joe Thornton, which again ended up being a pretty lousy trade for Boston, like it usually is when they trade their star players out of town. Not as bad as the Sagan trade, not even close, but all Boston got in return for Joe Thornton was Wayne Primo, a fourth-line player, Brad Stuart, a middle pair defenseman, and Marco Sturm, who ended up being a second-line scorer and was a decent player. Now, Brad Stuart and Marco Sturm were both decent players, but they did not nearly get enough in return for Joe Thornton. But that's for another video. He played in Boston from once that trade took place until for a couple years, year and a half, until 2007. Then during the 06-07 season, he got traded to Calgary, where he played the rest of that year with the Flames. Then he played 2007-2008 with the LA Kings. And at that point, he was kind of bouncing around. He went from Boston to Calgary to LA, all within a couple of years. And he didn't really have a strong home. Then he went, during the 2007-2008 season, he went to Detroit. And he found a long-term home with the Detroit Red Wings, where he played from the 2007-08 season. When he went there, that was their Stanley Cup winning year. All the way until 2012. So he spent a decent number of seasons, 5 or 6 years with the Detroit Red Wings, and was a pretty good player for them. Then he went back to San Jose for a couple of years from 2012 to 2014, and then he finished his career with the Colorado Avalanche from 2014 to 2016. So, he spent almost 15, 16 seasons in the NHL, over 1,000 games, over 300 career points as a defenseman, over 100 playoff games. He had a very, very good career in the NHL, and certainly a guy worth remembering. he was never a Norris Trophy contender. He was never a superstar top pair defenseman, somebody that, everyone around the world knew about. But he was just such a solid player for such a long time, and you cannot win without players like Brad Stuart. Not everybody can be the superstar standout player. You have to find good players who just are not necessarily great, but they're very good. They play their position, they know their role, and they do it very well, and that's what Brad Stuart was. He played his position very well for a very long time. And while he was never the standout superstar, there was a reason he was in the league for so long, because he was a great middle pair defenseman on a number of teams: San Jose, Boston, Calgary, LA, Detroit, Colorado. He played for so many different teams and was a valued member of every one of those teams. So I hope you all remember Brad Stuart. He's certainly a guy worth remembering. Very, very solid defender for a long time in the NHL. So, with that, thank you guys for watching. I'm sorry about the camera issues. I really don't know what to do other than to get a new camera. But at that point, that's going to take a little bit for me to find one and then it to come in. So I'm just going off my phone for now. That's why the video is definitely a little different and a little weird. But that's the best I can do for you guys. So that's the episode 8, I believe, of NHL Remember Him, Brad Stuart. Thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, share, subscribe, follow on social media. Those links are down in the description. If you'd like to further support the channel, help me buy a new webcam. The Patreon page is in the description as well as our merchandise store. So it'd be really cool if some of you guys would like to pick up some Off the Wall Hockey merch. Thanks again for watching. Keep spreading the word about this channel. Let's keep this thing growing, and I'll talk to you guys soon.